Would like to take you back to earlier today and the scene you are about to witness, which will set up a brand new match for Enter the Fight Round 3. Our owner and promoter, Prince Nana, away on business, appointed his longtime friend, associate, and let's be honest, minion, Ernie Osiris, to be the event manager for Enter the Fight Round 3. And as he was running through the card, he was interrupted by this trio of gentlemen: the Ripper, Miles Millennium, the Shooter, Killian McMurphy, and of course, their best friend, Big Dust. Because the Goons had a bone to pick with Ernie Osiris, as Killian McMurphy was scheduled to face Rhett Titus just later today. But Miles Millennium was without a match. And the Goons were not afraid to voice their displeasure at the fact that Miles was brought in effectively to be an alternate. They felt disrespected. They felt that this was absolutely unacceptable, and they were not afraid to let their displeasure known to our authority figure du jour.
All right, look, this is a absolutely apocalyptic level catastrophe. And until it is fixed, young man, me and my friends will do our God-given rights and peacefully protest.
There's the professional Rhett Titus making his way to the ring to maybe have end the peaceful protest with some not so peaceful words.
I'm sitting there watching the back, and during Prince Nana's absence, this show is all falling apart. The Goonies here have decided to try to take over the show. So you want a shot? You want a shot? Tonight, before I wrestle him, I'll wrestle you too, and I'll run the Gauntlet. Alright, but you want to run that? You want to run the Gauntlet? Congratulations! Shut up! You don't make the matches! I do! I'm in charge! You want this? Hey, you guys want this? Alright, listen. There are rules to this. Killian is not allowed out while Miles is here. You're the manager. You stay your ass there. But you and you, one of you is going to be in the back while he's working one of you.
And so it is set. Instead of simply taking on Killian McMurphy, Rhett Titus will now run the Gauntlet in a succession: the Ripper, Miles Millennium, and then Killian McMurphy. Welcome to Fight Pro Wrestling, the home of progressive, innovative combat. We are structured around 3 separate divisions: the hybrid, grappling, and tag team division, which each have their own individual rule set. Over the course of 8 weeks of competition during the season, fighters earn points based on their method of victory. A referee decision, TKO or KO, is 4 points, pinfall or submission 3 points, countout or forfeit 2 points. A time limit draw will see each competitor receive 1 point. and an extra point is awarded to the competitor who has fewer violations. However, a disqualification will see a 1-point deduction from a fighter's season total. Our code of conduct is especially important here at Fight Pro Wrestling, and we have a series of violations in order to enforce the rules in the spirit of competition. Certain violations are automatic disqualifications, while most lead to a warning and then a 3-strike system. After 3 strikes, a competitor will immediately forfeit their match. Now, let's take a look at our current rankings. Under the guidance of Prince Nana, Anthony Bennett will be removed from the hybrid division and instead enter the tag team division alongside Nana's hand-picked superstar, Tony Leyenda. The agreement being that they get to keep Bennett's draft round and seeding in the tag division.
You know, I didn't get in this wrestling business to put on 5-star matches, to be a part of some goofy gift, to gain Twitter followers. I came in this business to make money and bust heads. And that's exactly what the horse of all horses, Devantes, is going to do as I touch down at Fight Pro.
Our tale of the tape is sponsored by the Worldwide Wrestling Dojo, where quality talent receives quality training. Go to worldwidewrestlingdojo.com to start your journey today.
Welcome to Enter the Fight Round 3. I'm Jason Heat alongside my partner for this evening, a very professional commentator, Avery Good.
High stakes on the line in this match.
Fighting out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, weighing at 235 pounds, he is a division alternate. This is the horse of all horses. Give it up for Devantes.
Devantes, the Haas of all Haas, is a division alternate, which means that if he defeats the number 5 seed of round 3, Rayo, Devantes will make his way into the division.
20-minute time limit match.
Wearing the mask of the Incan lightning god, this is the self-proclaimed
Out of Lima, Peru, and weighing at 170 pounds, he is the number 5 seed in the 3rd round. He has a win loss record of 0-0-0, a score of 0 points. This is the Lightning Rayo!
As I said, wearing the mask of the lightning god of the Incan people, this is the lightning and self-proclaimed greatest South American wrestler of all time, Rayo.
I don't know if it's exactly the greatest of all time, but I believe he'll get there one day. He's another guy just straight dedicated to professional wrestling. Every time you see him, he's so much better than he was before. Strikes are fast, he's creative, he thinks outside the box.
Gentlemen,
And
before this
despite
match, any final words for your opponents.
As soon as I take you out, I'm going to take over this division.
As soon as I take you out, I'm gonna say, eres un hijo de puta.
That's a bad word. I don't speak much Spanish, but I know that is a curse word.
Getting by the censors for speaking in a different language than the one that we're currently monitoring.
So I'm a little torn here because Devantes is my dude. Devantes is a guy I've trained with for years and years and years. I've seen him come up in this professional wrestling business from his day one until today. And he's a guy I root for big time. If you just look at him, he looks like a beast. And I'll tell you one thing, when you're in a ring with him and he grabs you, you literally fear for your life. You can tell the power of this man that he just showcased right there is unreal. Slamming Rayo back into the corner here. He comes with some shoulders. He's in clear advantage of this matchup. 4 now. Big old Beal toss.
Two of the most intense pro wrestlers on the scene today. The ferocity of Rayo going up against just the absolute power and brutality of the Haas of Haas's Devantes. And in this position, Rayo actually playing gatekeeper. Rayo already a member of our hybrid division coming in, drafted, part of the 3rd round, the 5th seed, whereas Devantes is an alternate. You know that's got to piss Devantes off not to be drafted into the division.
Well, it adds a little more pressure into the match for him too, right? He's got something to lose here in this match. If he doesn't win, he does not get in the hybrid division, and if he wins, he's in.
There's no guarantee that if Devantes loses this match, we're going to see him again in Season 1 of Fight Pro. You get a chance to be in the division, you get a chance to possibly become the first champion. And right now, Devantes has just been throwing around the lightning Rayo.
Rayo down and out, but definitely don't count him out, right? This is a guy who can use his speed instantly to turn this matchup around. He's great technically in the ring. His strikes are pretty much top-notch as well. He's got a lot going on.
We're seeing this blitz of offense.
And with all those positive things I said about Rayo, though, Devantes is just straight scary.
Well, sure, and the thing is about Devantes, he wants to end this quick. He is more untested in deep water. Not to say he can't do it, but Devantes is a shock and awe kind of wrestler. He's trying to end this as quick as possible, get in, get out, get paid.
Yeah, and he's mastered the TKO, and that's just one of those moves that when you find yourself in it, you already know it's over. There's no kicking out of it, right? Sometimes there's no waking up from it. Like, it's called a TKO for a reason, and nobody does it better than Devantes.
Oh, Devantes is often considered a harbinger of doom, but Rayo, very scary as well in his own way. He truly believes he is the reincarnation of the Incan god of lightning. When he puts on that mask, we saw him walk out, he becomes a different person. I talked to Rayo in the back. He was one guy. The man I saw walk out here, a completely different individual. I can't tell you if I believe in it. It doesn't matter what I believe. Rayo believes, and it changes him as a person and as a competitor.
He's one of those guys you can look in his eyes and tell that whatever match he has on that day is the most important match of his life, and he's going to do whatever it takes to win it. So if you don't bring your A game, if you slip up, if you make a mistake, he's going to capitalize and you're going to lose.
Rayo has some experience in some of the biggest stages of all. And
TKO!
Now, TKO attempted! Rayo out the back door, and now Rayo biting like a gremlin! And that is 100% going to be a first warning.
Now we know outside of points and rankings and things like that, Rayo really has nothing to lose. He's already in the hybrid division, right? But you got to imagine he would also like to keep Devantes out of it.
Well, the thing about getting a warning is that means you've got 3 more strikes, and at 3 strikes, if you get 3 more warnings, 3 more infractions, violations, you will forfeit the match.
Hits him there with the bulldog, goes in. That might be it. Sorry, Devantes kicking out.
Rayo.
I really thought that was it. I thought Devantes was not getting in a hybrid division. I thought I was going to have to buy him a beer after this because it was going to really break his heart, and that's my buddy, and I don't like seeing him down. But I believe in him. Let's go.
We hear that self-declared greatest South American wrestler of all time, and right now Rayo making a great case for it, looking for the lightning kick, but Devantes is able to roll out of the way.
Going for that bulldog again. Devantes catches him, though. Spins him right into the TKO. He's got him up. Can Rayo get out this time? No, he can't.
And the TKO ends with a KO for a reason. That is going to be academic.
Yeah, Devantes. Congratulations, my friend. That dude's hard work's going to pay off. Hopefully he catches on here in Fight Pro. Hopefully he wins this whole stinking thing.
Well, by this win, that means Devantes is entered officially into the hybrid division. Devantes has the opportunity to now try and work to get to the playoffs, and Devantes just earned 3 points.
Look out, Fight Pro, because there's a genuine badass just entered the fray.
A hoss of all hosses is planning to stampede through the hybrid division.
How you doing? It's George from GWB Designs. We're starting a new project, hey? Come on in. Any of your construction needs, give us a call, 631-953-5054. Thank you and have a good day.
GWB Designs, here for all your home improvement needs from start to finish.
So being fearless means putting yourself out there and going for it. No matter what, go for it. Not for anybody else, but for yourself.
Inside my DNA, I got loyalty inside my DNA. I got loyalty, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA.
Skid Row Wrestling Academy. The work begins here. Email supercrazypro@gmail.com and start your journey today.
Now, Tim Dynamite, Samael Falls. Skid Row is coming to Fight Pro because Fight Pro's coming to Skid Row. We fight because we want to, we team because we have to.
What? First of all, we're not going. You just slapped that water bottle out my hand.
Yeah, I'm in the zone.
You're not in the zone. You're in the zone, huh?
Yeah, I'm in the zone.
You know, all right, since you're in the zone, go ahead, finish.
Yeah, thank you very much. Joe Keys, Eric Martin, you can't deny.
No. No, do not say that one. I'm tired of that line. No, yes they can deny Dynamite. You know what, get out of here. Look, Joe Keys, Eric Martin, expect us, because we'll be expecting you. And another thing,
Our tale of the tape is sponsored by Busky Apparel. Are you feeling busky? Check out Busky Apparel on social media at busky_CO for all your busky swag.
Featuring our current number 3 last ranked tag team in the division. You know that really busts their chaps.
Especially when you work as hard as these guys, you're as big and bad as these guys are. Like you in your brain are number 1 all the time. When you actually have to look at rankings and see, right, that number 3 next to you, it's got to keep them up at night, right? It's got them doing like 1 million extra push-ups every morning. Like that kind of thing eats at you when in your brain you believe you're the biggest, the baddest, the strongest, the toughest, the best there is. Who do you think can do more push-ups out of these two?
Joe Keys.
Joe Keys? Joe Key's just a beast of a man, right? I met Joe Keys about 5 years ago. He definitely did not look like that. Now just look at him. I wouldn't want to step in a ring with him. He looks like he could rip your head off at any second.
Joe Keys wearing the black and gold. Eric Martin with the busky trunks and t-shirt. This is a bit of a big and bigger, muscle and muscular.
And that is not exactly the case for the busky. What do we got? What's their last name? The busky what?
The busky Brawlers.
Why do I want to call them the busky Breaux? Busky Breaux has a better ring to it.
You want to tell them?
No, I'm good. My wrestling days are over. They can
I don't
call
want to
whatever
make
they
Joe
want.
Keys mad. That's the last thing in the world that I want. Then he talks to you. This is a bit of a mismatch on paper. We're going to see what it's like in the actual ring as Skid Row, hometown favorites. These two young men train right here at the Super Crazy Wrestling Factory, the Skid Row Wrestling Factory.
And the story I got behind the whole thing was Nana called and said, Super Crazy Wrestling Academy, give me the best you got. So these guys aren't even really a tag team. They were just the best two students that Super Crazy had to offer. But here's what I love about them, right? They're not a tag team. They're not trained to be the best tag team in the world. They're two guys who see an opportunity and they're taking it. But they didn't break the sacred rule. And I'm trying to figure out how to word this, right? I absolutely hate when you get a random tag team that don't have matching gear. They have matching gear, so I love them. That's what I'm getting to. Matching gear makes a tag team, and now they're officially a tag team.
Tim Dynamite in the tights. Samael Fawzi in the trunks. We're going to see what they have to say in the face-off to each other.
Gentlemen, before we start the match, any final words for your opponents?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we may not like each other, but we don't like either of you, and as far as I'm concerned, you're in our house now.
I'm not gonna lie, boys. I actually envy you two a little bit. I do. At this point in your careers, right, you're still hopeful. You're pure. Your hearts have been ripped out and just dragged through the dirt yet. You know what? Let us do you a favor, and that changes the end. The pain, the trauma, this ass whooping that Eric and I are gonna give you, I don't want you to take it personal, all right? Please don't take it personal. Y'all are just some young boys calling it grown man shit.
This is a matter of territory at this point as Skid Row looking to defend what they consider invaders to their house. And it's a matter of education for the Busky Brawlers. They plan to teach the young boys a lesson, I think.
So I don't know if you noticed there when Tim Dynamite grabbed the microphone, Fawzi looked a little bit embarrassed, like, oh boy, here he goes. So I'm starting to catch on. Dynamite's the flashy one of the two. Fawzi's just out here to win some hearts over. He's out here to show you what he's got, what he's been working with, his hard work and dedication, his heart he's going to wrestle with, and all those positive, young, up-and-coming wrestling type things. But right now, Tim Dynamite's in a world of trouble. Nobody ducks out, and I don't know if punching Joe in the face is a good idea. Maybe not punch, but throwing those forearms.
Joe Keys absolutely double tough, and as strong as he is, he's twice as resentful. Joe Keys absolutely hates the fact that people he's trained with, people he's trained, have gotten more opportunities than he has in his career.
And if you look at Joe Keys, what's holding him back? You don't know what it is. He looks like $1 million. He's a great professional wrestler.
Oh, Tim Dynamite looking for the upset of the season.
Ooh, he almost called that. Can you imagine, right? Joe Keys already grumpy. Can you imagine how grumpy he'd have been if he lost 32 seconds into this match to Tim Dynamite, who's only had barely over 10 professional wrestling matches?
I've never seen a human being have a seizure due to pure anger, and I think we would have seen that out of Joe Keys. His brain literally would have exploded. I know, I'm using literally, really. I'm not talking metaphorically.
Joe Keys now just putting the boots to the kid, quite literally.
I believe
there's
this is
a
what he
big old
calls paying your dues.
Tim Dynamite thought he was big, came in talking that game. He got the matching gloves for him and his partner, right? So they could have that matching tag team wrestling gear, the oh-so-important matching gear. Right now, he is so far away from his partner. He would love to touch gloves and get himself out of this ring, but right now, Big Eric Martin's got him in his grasp, and that's a snap suplex.
The busky of the busky brawlers, Eric Martin, very no-nonsense. A throwback, one would say.
So you look at these young kids, and you got to ask what they were thinking getting in this ring today, right? They're brand new to wrestling, both of them a little over 10 matches. They're half the size of their opponents. If you're watching this at home, you might say, these kids are out of their mind.
It's an opportunity. You never turn down an opportunity. There's always a chance. It's just a very, very, very difficult chance for these two right now.
And that's one of the beautiful things about professional wrestling is we all want to succeed so bad that we are willing to take chances like this. Just maybe it's our day. Maybe the sun is shining on us a little bit that day.
Tim Dynamite gets the tag.
They touch gloves. Fozzy now with a big he's got knocked.
Almost like a hockey fight in the middle of the ring, and this is the best Skid Row has had a chance so far.
Notice he was not using his fist. He was using his bottom of his forearms, which is perfectly legal. Dodges that big boot. We got a toe breaker.
The backstep right now, Joe Keys coming in despite the fact that he is not the legal man. And I'm pretty sure this may end up being a warning.
Ooh, he tried to hop up on that corner, slipped off, but still eats him with a back elbow. Joe Key's trying to cut it down again. So they're using their warning wisely because Fozzy was in clear control of this matchup. He took over on Eric Martin, but Joe Key said, I'll use my warning, come in, get control again, and now that big boot connects.
I don't think Fozzy knows what day it is, let alone what school he's representing at this point, as he just got taken halfway across the state, courtesy of Eric Martin. Martin and Key so angry that they lost to Action Andretti and Breaux Keller, who we will see in action later, and I think they're taking out all that resentment here on Skid Row.
Running back elbow. Even that tag right there hurt. At least it would have hurt me. I got tender hands. Right, these guys' hands probably all calloused up like big old bear mitts.
Martin ran through Fozzy so hard. All that's left are skid marks, and Joe Keys may have killed the man in front of us.
I want somebody to make a list for me of people who showed up to pro wrestling for about a year, ran into a matchup like this, and then never, ever, 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 ever showed up again.
I think the list of people who quit wrestling because they got into the ring with the likes of Joe Keys is probably pretty long. Skid Row. Oh man, they're looking rough right now. The referee.
Eric Martin got to be careful there. He's pulling Fozzy back by the hair, which could get him another red strike in this matchup.
That's the end right there.
So it's very important here, right? And I get these guys are angry, they're frustrated. Professional wrestling in general just can be frustrating. You got to be very, very, very careful, right? In these types of matchup at Fight Pro, because if you let your anger get out of the way, you're going to lose a match like this just due to red strikes. You're going to forfeit a match you should win because you couldn't control your composure.
And now, taking out the perceived trash are the busky brawlers directly into the arms of their friends, their family here coming to support them at the Skid Row Wrestling Academy. And this puts the busky brawlers way higher on the board. That's another 3 points, and that's going to bring them, well, I believe, to 4 points. No, sorry, to 2-3 points right there.
You touched on something that kind of made me chuckle a little bit. Like you said, those dudes got thrown out there to their friends and family. And when you're a young, inspiring wrestler, right? And you're your first year in, your first 10, you're inviting everybody to come see you. Mom, dad, grandma, your best friends, your girlfriend, right? Your girlfriend's parents. And then they come and they watch this happen to you.
Imagine inviting everyone you love to the worst day of your life. Right. That's what just happened to Skid Row.
100%.
Everyone's gonna end up like those kids.
Fantastic work by the busky brawlers, the bullies of the Fight Pro Tag Team Division.
Anthony Bennett has been unable to garner a victory in his last 2 fights. With every loss has come an excuse, and as we saw last week, Prince Nana delivered Mr. Bennett an ultimatum to team with Prince Nana's hand-picked golden ticket.
To the people of Fight Pro, consider yourself privileged, porque el que te habla ahora mismo es la maldita crema.
The man himself, Tony Leyenda!
I make my Fight Pro debut. Why? Because Prince Nana, the superstar that he is, recognizes another superstar when he sees him. And he asked if I could make my debut and join forces with Anthony Bennett. I said I don't care. As long as they pay me and I keep doing what I do, and that's win, I don't have a problem with teaming up with anybody. Anthony Bennett, you're well-traveled, you're well-respected, and I respect your talent. However, I hope you're on the same sheet of music as La Maldita Crema, because I come to win and only win. And if you give me anything less than 150%, I'm gonna have bigger issues to deal with.
Unsure about where to go and what to do, Anthony Bennett decided to take Prince Nana's advice. And tonight, we will see this new tag team in Tony Leyenda and Anthony Bennett take on Action Andretti and Breaux Keller.
Fellingham's Restaurant Sports Bar has been open for over 40 years and serves classic American dishes, draft brews, and cocktails in a rustic casual setting.
Fellingham's Sports Bar and Restaurant, where good sports meet.
Opened in September of 2016 by Chris Mazzone and Chris Burke, 8 and Sand is named for an old railway term that means to quick and safe travels. This is a 10-barrel brew house that pumps out great beer on the regular. From Pilsners to Belgians to barrel-aging beers, you name it, and they brew it. A nice feature of 8 and Sand is that they also focus on being environmentally friendly, since breweries have a tendency to use a lot of resources. They send their spent grains to farmers to feed livestock, and they clean and reuse their water, among other things. So, to quick and safe travels, as they say here at 8 and Sand Brewing Company, happy drinking, my friends, and cheers.
Our tale of the tape is sponsored by Fellingham's Sports Bar and Restaurant, where great food and good sports meet. Go to fellinghamsrestaurant.com for details.
I know this music very well. I've called more matches of this man than anyone in my career, but I've never seen him more violent and dangerous than I have in Fight Pro Wrestling, and that would be the champion of the 1%, Logan Easton Laroux.
The athletic ability on this show today is just off the charts, right? Everybody who comes out here is, like, he says he's the 1%, but I feel like half the people in the locker room are in the top 1% of people in great shape in this world. You're seeing BJJ world champions.
He weighs in tonight at 210 pounds. He is the number 18 and first round. He has a win-loss record of 1-0-0 and a score of 4 points. He is Logan Easton Laroux.
undefeated here in Fight Pro, and I can't say it's good to see Logan back, but it is notable to see Logan back. Logan was scheduled to wrestle Eli Isom at our last event. It was announced that he was fined for brutally attacking and injuring both Cheeseburger and his opponent at Enter the Fight Round 1, Colby Carino. He refused to show up and to pay the fine, so something happened behind the scenes with him and Tristana because Logan's back.
See, but I say it is good to see him here because you might not like him personally, but he's a fantastic professional wrestler. And if you're trying to put on the best professional wrestling show you can, that guy's got to be on it.
Certainly another person you want to see on the best pro wrestling show you can have is the American Hammer, Matt Quay, one of the newest entrants to the hybrid division thanks to his win over the Mecca.
Matt Quay's a guy I had a chance to train with a little bit years ago. Now currently training with, for real, independent wrestling legend, Mean Mark Mest in Reading, Pennsylvania.
So this is a battle of the number 5 ranked Matt Quay against the number 3 ranked Logan Easton Laroux. Everyone trailing our points leader, the professional Rhett Titus at this point. We're going to see what these two have to say to each other face to face when our ring announcer, Carolina Jim, leads us to the face-off.
Gentlemen, any final words for your opponents?
Hammer time.
I think I heard you.
Very simple.
To the point.
Well, brother, talk is cheap. I'm right here, man. And it's hammer time, baby.
What makes Logan Easton Laroux so dangerous isn't just the fact that he's an incredibly skilled professional wrestler or that he's trained in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, a theme across Enter the Fight Round 3. It's the fact that Logan Easton Laroux represents privileged, unchecked. This is a man who's never been told no in his life. He thinks he is owed everything, and I think it is festered and fermented a terrible, terrible sadistic streak inside of him.
Credit to him, though. Like, he's not just sitting back and just saying, hey, I was just born in all this wonderful... Like, this guy's still out there putting in the work. I saw the other day, my man ran 6 miles by 6 a.m. and did a back workout. Like, this guy wants to be the best, maybe for his own cruel, evil intentions, but he's putting the work in. So if you can't outwork him and he beats you, then he deserves to win.
Logan Easton Laroux so far has been the master of the metagame, the only competitors who has been able to really use the system of violations and infractions to his advantage. Going up against the House of Fire, the heart and soul of positive energy, the right mindset, Matthew Quay.
Matthew Quay, a guy who comes in fantastic shape. He's been training nonstop for a couple years now, and this is a huge opportunity for him in the ring with one of the top names on the independent. Sometimes it just takes that one big win over the right guy to really skyrocket a career on the independents, and this could be that day for Matt Quay.
A lot to prove here for Matt Quay, who did beat the Mecca to enter the hybrid division, but there is I would say an asterisk. Matt Quay wrestled a great match, but the Mecca got disqualified. He forfeited due to all of his violations. It was very clear the Mecca had not read the fight rulebook, and I know that Quay wants to prove it doesn't matter the opponent, it doesn't matter the situation. He's not being beat by someone else, he is doing the beating.
Right, and sometimes you get that win, but it doesn't really feel like a win. You didn't win because you were better than somebody. You won because somebody else didn't understand the rules properly, or they lost their temper, or, they just overwent their violations for whatever, one reason or the other, which brings up what you mentioned about Logan.
Oh, wait, Matt Quay!
Woo! Picks him up. Oh, Logan! That's warning one. That was a close fist to the face. If used properly, these violations could be the best weapon you have in the ring. But again, it's a very slippery slope, because if you decide you're going to go use 2 or 3 of them, then an accidental 4th one happens.
You can get caught. You can get caught quick. But Logan, using it as a defensive maneuver, did not want to take the damage of the powerbomb, willing to use one of his violations in order to escape all that damage to his head and back early on in the match.
And Logan's no dummy. He's a guy I do think can balance that system to his advantage. I don't see a forfeit happening in this match, so if Matt Quay wants to win today, he's going to have to earn it the good old-fashioned way.
One of the smartest wrestlers I've ever seen, Logan Laroux with that standing enziguri. I don't know how you feel, Avery. I know you've known Logan a long time, but often there's a bit of preening and posturing in Logan Laroux. I'm not seeing any of that tonight. This is a focused and dangerous Logan Laroux.
Sometimes in professional wrestling, you just have a match just for the sake of having a match, but not here at Fight Pro. Every single match has a reason. Every single match has a prize, right? You gain your points, you lose points, other people surpass you in the rankings. So Logan understands all of this. He's out here to just claim wins, not to show off, not to show the ladies his pretty abs and all of those things. We got to count in the ring to it. He understands here that every win matters. You can't just take a loss and wake up the next day and everything still be the same.
The precision of Logan's strikes in this match have been incredible. Everything hitting perfectly. Matt Quay is a phenomenal competitor, but so far, he has absolutely had it taken to him by the Coastal Elite, the venture grapplist, the champion of the 1%.
It's not often Logan gets in a ring with somebody who looks as in tip-top shape as he is, right? But he definitely has the experience advantage in this match. But Matt Quay looks like one of those 2022 athletes, right? It's not just good enough to be strong. It's not just good enough to be fast, right? It looks like he's got all of that wrapped into one total package, if you will.
These two are in the hybrid division for a reason. These athletes all have to be expert in multiple different wrestling styles, from puro riso and strong style to lucha libre to technical wrestling, brawling. In order to succeed in Fight, you have to be a master of your craft. If you were going to analyze these two as a former competitor, where would you say their strengths both lie respectively?
Logan is all upstairs. Like, outside of the obvious, he's in great shape, but he's one of the smartest wrestlers I've ever been around or in the ring with, right? So usually he's going to go into the match with that advantage.
And that is not a violation for Matt Quay. He did not choose to leave of his own volition. And Logan, with that dropkick, did not leave the ring either, getting just around the rules.
Logan just connected with that dropkick straight to the face of Matt Quay, and I don't know if Matt Quay's getting up. This just
that
might
child
be a
is
10 count.
checking to make sure he is in so much danger. We have children running to make sure their hero is okay. He's not, by the way.
That might very well be Matt Quay's advantage in this match, is he's so likable. He's got the fans here at Fight Pro behind him. Nobody wants to see Logan Laroux win anything.
You are not encouraged to go outside and fight pro wrestling, and part of that, I don't know if you noticed, Avery, there are no mats. This is hard concrete floor. That was a lot of damage that Logan did in a short period of time.
With the help from that little child, Matt Quay makes it back into the ring. Logan puts the boots right back to him immediately.
We are 5 minutes into this 20-minute time limit. We have seen these matches, most notably in the battle of student versus teacher. Eli Isom against the world-famous Cheeseburger did go to a 20-minute time limit draw, and it was decided by who had the most infractions. So while the infractions, the violations, are a good strategy for Logan, if it goes the distance and he has more than Matt Quay, that's going to cost him down the line.
So again, another one of the amazing things about these matchups all meaning something. Even in the case of a draw, somebody leaves a little bit better than their opponent.
Everything in Fight is about tactics and strategy. You talk about pro wrestling as human chess sometimes, but it has never been more accurate here than in Fight Pro, as Logan Laroux looking to put Matt Quay away for 3 points.
Even the vibe in the locker room here, you can sense the competition in the air, right? With everything mattering and everything meaning something. Like, nobody's back there like, hey, buddy, what's up? How you doing? Everybody's on their A game. Everybody's your enemy, right?
Well, certainly if you're Logan Laroux, everyone is your enemy.
Kind of by choice.
That man doesn't have friends. He has people he pays to be nice to him.
And even that's a difficult job to do.
Oh, yeah.
It probably pays well, though.
It's hazard pay. The only thing I have ever met in my life less likable than Logan is his dog.
What kind of dogs do you have?
Evil Chihuahua named Henry. I mean, I'm talking the fires of hell. Yeah, it's terrible.
Nasty little rats.
Terrifies me on Instagram. You know, like father like son, like Logan like dog. As Matt Quay is learning, as Logan Laroux just battering Quay upside the head and all across this ring.
Yeah, this one's been 80% Logan on this. Logan definitely he just misses that elbow there in the corner. Matt Quay right on him with the splash. There's that speed. Hitting him with some power. There's another stinger splash in the corner. He's going for a third. Let's go, kid. We got a whip and a reversal. No, springboard.
Take us back to the late 80s because it is hammer time here at the Super Crazy Wrestling Center.
Can't touch this. He's up to the top ropes. Big crossbody.
He may go to the top of the charts. No, Matt Quay looking to be more than a one-hit wonder here in Fight Pro Wrestling by getting his second win in the hybrid division. Logan Laroux looking to prove that he belongs at the top spot, trying to become the champion eventually here.
He's
in
looking
Fight
for
Pro.
that springboard elbow. There was the hammer or the American hammer. It did not work out.
Ladies and gentlemen,
so that's his first red strike now, correct?
has been issued his first violation for a closed fist.
That is correct. The warning has been applied, and that was an official violation. Logan has 2 more before he loses by forfeit, but he might not need it. Look at those hammer and tongs.
Both his warning and his red strike so strategically placed they completely turned this match around. In both cases, Logan was on the defense. 2-end. No, he's going for another pin. Rolls him up. A little bit of a Mexican rolling pin into the ropes, though. You got to know that ring placement, that ring awareness. But right back on him. Look at the urgency.
This is the single best I've ever seen Logan Laroux wrestle. Not being hyperbolic, don't like to acknowledge it, but he looks incredible today.
More than anything else, he just looks focused, right? It's not about showing off, flexing, blah, 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 showing you how much money he got or how much better he is.
The deal has been done, and Matt Quay almost took it.
But Logan right now, he understands that here at Fight Pro, it's all about the W. Logan somehow getting back to his feet. Both competitors wobbly.
Matt Quay looking to end it with the nail on the head.
And see if he can drop him down on that knee.
That's another violation. Rake the eyes.
Violation led right to the cutter, though. We got 1, 2. That's it.
Your winner, Logan Laroux.
That is the game being played at its highest level. Every single warning, every single violation was used to turn the tide in this matchup.
I'm being told that I'm going to go to the ring and actually talk to Logan Laroux. I have some information that's been sent to me by Ernie. I'll be right back, Avery.
Hey, enjoy it. Ladies and gentlemen, in the ring right now, you're looking at a man on the top of his game, right? At the top of his professional wrestling game. Enjoy him while he can, because I'm sure he won't be around the independents much longer.
Logan, congratulations on your win. I have some news for you and a few questions. First off, welcome back to Fight Pro Wrestling. It's, I guess, good to see you again here in the ring. I know there was an issue. I will not address you or anyone in this building, including Fight Management, till I get an apology. You have spread falsehoods about me. You have lied about me on the internet. And I will not speak again until I get my apology. On behalf of Fight Pro Wrestling, I sincerely apologize. Shut up while he's talking! Now, address these people, and more importantly, myself, louder! As a representative of Fight Pro Wrestling, I sincerely apologize on behalf of the organization for any discrepancies or misinformation that may have been spread about your status of the organization and the reasons for your absence at the last event. Are we able to move on to the interview now, please, sir? Logan, with that win, you are now at 7 points. You are officially the second place ranked wrestler. But I have to ask you, with Rhett Titus defeating people with his drop kick and his knockouts, and you winning with the cutter at 3 points, mathematically, do you think you can ever hope to catch up? Mathematically, do I think I can catch up? Well, I may not have knocked out Mr. Quay. I was very close. May I bring you to the blood I spilled from him. Can I be number one? Can I be Rhett, Titus, and his dropkick? Yes. Yes, I will be the Fight face. I am the guy who just made Quay bleed. So imagine what I'm going to do to become number one.
Well, you'll have an opportunity to prove yourself. I've been told by Fight Management that I can announce your opponent right here, as you're going to have to go against a man that you put in the hospital. The world-famous CD Cheeseburger himself is coming back to fight you. Cheeseburger's back. You put him in the hospital. He recovered. He's coming back. What do you have to say to that, Mr. Laroux? Do you have any comments for me?
You need a cheeseburger.
I don't want to think about it.
Fight Pro, this is Dominic De Niro. I enter the hybrid division when I enter round 4 and go toe-to-toe with Moses from Shane Taylor Promotions. See, Moses, you're a big boy and all. You like to throw your weight around. But I'm no one to take lightly. If you let me out of your sights for 1 second, I'ma clean your clocks and split you like the Red Sea. And if I lock my submission in, Moses, you most definitely are gonna smell the roses. See you then.
Dominic DeVaro. Yeah, I've heard your name, and I respect your game. This ain't got nothing to do with you. See, Fight Pro disrespected Moses. I damn near killed Bennett, and they got me 4th in the rankings. It's time for the messenger to deliver the message. And it appears you, sir, are my one-man congregation.
Our tale of the tape is sponsored by Complete Management Solutions, creating a workplace environment that allows their customers to thrive. Go to cmsexperience.com for details.
Very curious. Avery Good, how this is going to go down. I am Jason Keat here for Enter the Fight Pro's 3rd event, and this is a first-time tag team specifically put together by our founder and owner, Prince Nana, as the somewhat wayward Anthony Bennett has been given what Prince Nana calls a gold shipper partner, Tony Leyenda.
Hand-picked by Prince Nana, and look at the man. He's about 6'3", jacked to the gills, athletic specimen, comes to us from the Texas Wrestling Academy, trained by Rudy Boy Gonzalez, one of the most notorious professional wrestling trainers there are. And these guys don't look like they're getting along very well.
Anthony Bennett, we had really high hopes for him in the hybrid division, but lost 2 straight to Rhett, Titus, and to Moses. And I don't think it's necessarily a great
It's empty, bro.
Thanks.
Fill it back up.
Okay, well, I don't know how he got this past our people.
Fighting out of the tri-state area with a total combined weight of 3.
One of my pet peeves in professional wrestling.
They are the number 4 seed. They have a win-loss record of 0 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws, and a score of 0 points. They are the team of Tony Leyenda and Anthony Bennett.
They're only one Tony away from being Tony. But yeah,
we could only hope.
One of my pet peeves is when you get 2 guys who are just thrown into a tag team, right? I like my tag teams as well-oiled machines, are trained together, live together, love each other. They do all those things. They can read each other's minds.
I wouldn't say they were thrown together. I believe that Nana is really trying to pave the way for success for Anthony Bennett, who he sees good things in, but Bennett has just not been able to get on the gears, so to speak. Unlike this team of Action Andretti and All Energy, the Jockzilla, Breaux, Keller, they are our number 2 ranked tag team in the division.
This is my first time seeing Action Andretti live and in person.
You're in for a treat.
I've seen him online. I'm very excited for this right now. The ball of energy. The kid looks great.
I've known Breaux Keller the entirety of his professional wrestling career. I think so highly of Breaux Keller as not just a wrestler, but as a human being. And to see him matched with someone who can match his kind of effervescent energy in Action Andretti is really impressive.
We already discussed the rules in the back. Only way you can win this one is by pinfall. There's no hair pulling or tight pull. You understand the rules?
All right, gentlemen, before we get started with the match, any final words for your opponents?
Well, since you know, I think in my own interest today. Se me calla la boca. And while we at it, everybody needs to shut their mouth because I got something to say. Your way clearly isn't the way. Therefore, we're going to do it my way. And I don't know what you two clowns think this is, but what you see right here is the future of this division. What you clowns see right here is the future of Fight Pro. And what all of you idiots, including you two, see right here, is the future of this industry. Well, I speak Bennett.
Everybody.
These guys, they got jokes over here talking about future this, future that. We got Boozy Boy and his bartender buddy. It ain't flying. You can be the future of this, the future of that, but what are you looking at right here? All energy, lights, camera, action? This is the present. Bennett is the future. We don't need that story yet.
Bringing the flash and the fire are the team of All Energy, Action, Breaux Keller, and Action Andretti. And strong words by Tony Leyenda.
Tony Leyenda, very confident. Very confident. He was trying to teach me some Spanish in the back. I said, what's your nickname? He goes, La Maldita Crema.
Yeah.
There it is. I did that way better than I ever thought I would.
We're very proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. The cream of the crop. And this match is starting up. We got Action Andretti. We got Anthony Bennett.
Tony Leyenda, a self-made man, came from very hard times, very bad circumstances as a child. He's said that he has earned every cent he's made. And Action Andretti looking to roll Bennett up right now. Leyenda would have had a conniption. Bennett with the cover.
And that's something I can speak to, coming from humble beginnings myself to, a very successful professional wrestler, master's degree, all these things. As you succeed in life, your confidence grows. And for some guys, confidence brings along a little bit of attitude. And it seems like Tony's got a little bit of attitude going. We got 2 legs hooked right now in the middle of the ring. We're going to duck a punch, duck underneath, shoves him off the ropes, hip toss.
Anthony Bennett, a competitor in the Cruiserweight Classic, a star-making performance recently in All Elite Wrestling by Action Andretti. These are 2 men where the bright lights have been shining on them, and they are not disappointing here in the ring.
Breaux Keller, another guy, he's got the look, right? He's in fantastic shape. He's a great professional wrestler. He absolutely oozes charisma. Look at the guy. How he's still roaming around on the independents, I have no idea.
Single best vertical leap I've ever seen in professional wrestling, a former high jumper in college, multi-sport athlete, and now taking it. This is our first time seeing Tony Leyenda
a little shake
in a fight ring. These 2, creative, entertaining.
Now, can they get a warning for overseeing the 5 count in the ring?
They can. Did you see the hype Breaux Keller got before that splash? Anthony Bennett has really struggled here in Fight Pro, and Prince Nana sees something in Bennett. attaching him to the man he considers not a blue chipper, Avery, but a gold chipper, Tony Leyenda.
Interesting. So let me ask you a question here. Was Prince Nana maybe trying to save a spot here in Fight Pro for Anthony Bennett, being 0-2? I hear if he goes 0-3 in the hybrid division, he is out.
I believe that is the case. I think he wants to see Bennett succeed, sort of despite himself. But listen, I respect Prince Nana. I appreciate the job and the nod by Prince Nana, but I think Nana always has an agenda, and I think maybe he's looking to save Bennett. I think he's looking to find a spot for Tony Leyenda where Leyenda can shine.
And again, these two guys being thrown together, not really their own choice, and you can see a little bit of animosity between the two of them.
Look at the strength on Andretti lifting up Leyenda. Leyenda, none of these men are small. Leyenda is huge.
Absolutely gigantic, right? Too much ego, though, maybe for this team of Leyenda and Bennett, and we'll see how they get together. Sometimes you can get in the ring and you can just find a way to make it work, right? You realize, hey, maybe we do have a little bit of chemistry. Maybe our future is brighter, right? We heard all that talk about future. Maybe
Bennett.
our future is brighter together. Maybe we figure that out here today.
One thing Leyenda has in spades is focus.
Leyenda and Bennett having issued a warning.
See, now that one was accidental.
A blind tag. It was a blind tag here in our tag division. There are no submissions, and a violation is if you do not have a face-to-face hand-to-hand tag. So that is a one strike on the board, or a warning for the team of Leyenda and Bennett.
Like Logan Laroux used all of his warnings and strikes strategically to help himself get a W. That one right there was just them trying to be sneaky behind the ref's back, and they got busted. So now they're already down their warning.
Rockabye baby to Action Andretti, and now Anthony Bennett showing what brought him to the table and fight in the first place. If this is what we'd seen out of Bennett from the very beginning, his fortunes may have been very different as Andretti gets out at the last possible inch of a second.
Andretti now fighting to get back to that corner, to get to Breaux Keller, to get that energy in the ring. Right now they got this, for two guys who really have never teamed together before, they know what they're doing. The ring is cut off, they're keeping Action Andretti in their corner, and right now they're dominating this matchup.
One thing Leyenda brings to the table is focus and intensity. So if you're looking to get someone who may be a little wayward back on track, giving him Tony Leyenda as someone to kind of narrow the path, a dog for the sheep, as it were. A cattle dog, that's what I'm trying to go for. But you do a lot worse than putting Tony Leyenda on the hunt. I'm really going to land that metaphor if I got to crash the plane trying.
Let me add to it a little bit. So in this case, it seems like Nana trying to throw a dog a bone here for Anthony Bennett, but he doesn't like that flavor. He is not exactly interested in having that particular bone. In fact, I think he wants to just make his own bone. He wants to go find his own animal, hunt it down, kill it, get the bone out.
But he is player coaching Bennett. Leyenda is coming in, and he's not taking the glory. He is calling the plays, calling the shots, and making sure that this tag team is an effective unit. He's not my style of coach. I'm a noted coward. I don't like being yelled at. Take notes for you, please. But, boy, you can't argue that it's effective. Even retying the tag rope to make sure that they're always legal, as Bennett may be about to put away Action Andretti.
Didn't quite get the pinfall there, but Action Andretti no closer to tagging Breaux Keller than he was a few minutes ago. But he is worse for the wear.
Did you see Logan Laroux push me? Because I nearly died in the ring.
I'm happy you didn't leave. I would have had to do this all by myself.
There was blood all over Avery.
I heard that. Again, that was one of those strategic red strike punches to the face, causing all of that blood.
Action Andretti fighting out from underneath. Currently, they are the number 2 ranked team, though they share the same amount of points as our number 1 ranked team, Dog Nation.
So now explain to me, if they have the same amount of points, why is one team 1 and one team's 2?
Dog Nation was seeded in the first round, whereas Action and Breaux were part of the second round. That means that Dog Nation was drafted first and therefore gets priority in the seeding, despite the fact that they both have 3 points.
Makes sense to me. Action Andretti gave himself a little window, and there he makes a tag. Here comes Breaux Keller. He's in on Tony quick, spit flying everywhere. Ducks a clothesline from Bennett. Up. Oh, Cascade, powerbomb maybe? No. Buckle bomb into Leyenda.
A 2-for-1 special here. Breaux Keller doing the dealing. It looks like Action Andretti. Lights, camera, action.
Now that could be the advantage of this matchup, is Keller and Andretti, a well-oiled machine tag team. They've been together for a little while now. They know what to do. They know what each other are thinking. Some fast kicks, kick to the gut, knee to the face, more spit flying. Ducks the enziguri though.
And now the backstabber by Breaux Keller. All energy, showing why he has earned that name, X Factor applied.
Keller is all over the place. High energy indeed, 2. Almost 3. I think Bennett was a little late. Thank goodness Leyenda kicked out there.
Well, I mean, he finished this entire martini.
That makes sense. And who knows if that was his first one.
It is a strong smell. Violation called, and now... Great teamwork right now.
Keller about to turn around into a world of hurt.
I'm so impressed with Tony Leyenda. I've seen him in some other territories, and Nana always looking around the country for great talent. I mean, this roster, is it not stacked, Avery Good? Former world champion. Has there even been a weak link in the entire event?
I just can't get over it. Every single match, the competitors are coming out in better shape than the match before, which seems almost impossible. Right now, you were talking about Leyenda coming all the way from Texas. Nana scouring the entire country to find the best talent. Leyenda been around for 5 years. He's not new to pro wrestling, but he's new to the Northeast.
And Leyenda just hit Starstruck, but Bennett has tagged in, and Leyenda seemed to think he had this match won. And now Leyenda being forced to exit the ring after hitting probably the most effective maneuver in his arsenal. And these two arguing gave Action Andretti time to get in.
Action Andretti comes in with a drop kick, says Leyenda to the floor. So whatever Bennett had in mind, it definitely backfired because Leyenda had this match 100% in his control.
I don't know what Bennett was thinking other than this intense desire to prove himself, because it certainly seemed like it was Leyenda's to win. Leyenda on the outside, completely vulnerable, is Anthony Bennett.
Double whip. Up. Oh, we got a 3D. Leyenda better get in there.
No one kicks out of the 3D.
This was just a case of two guys who know each other very well being on one side and two guys who were stuck together on the other side.
Well, not only do Action Andretti have the continuity and the points to prove it, but I think that Bennett just is overcompensating. Bennett was doing really well. Bennett was listening. But whatever it is, whatever's going on inside of Bennett that feels the need to sort of like, I don't know, just do more than he has to take that glory, to prove himself. Sometimes to have a seat at the table, you just have to act like you have a seat at the table and not try and prove that you belong there.
It's the age-old adage, keep it simple, stupid.
And now, Action Andretti and Breaux Keller easily take the #1 ranking in the tag team division with 6 points. At this point, double their nearest challenger. It's a long way away from the finals, but boy, they might be unstoppable if they stay this good. Bennett, I almost feel very sad for him.
Leyenda looks angry.
Directing our ring announcer to place the microphone in his hand, and Leyenda was not scheduled to have time to speak. So.
I'm so curious to see what he's got to say.
I got something to say. Turn on your mic.
Leyenda's gonna make sure we all listen to him.
I told you from the jump, I'm here for one thing and one thing only, and that's to continue doing what I've done all freaking year, and that's win. But no, you want to come shut your mouth, old lady? I'll smack that match hit up her face.
Yikes.
He's angry.
But you want to be lollygagging with martinis like this ain't my life, like this ain't serious. I am Prince Nana's golden goose. I'm the golden chip. And I came here to do one thing. And if you want to ride this string, you better shape up. Because I'm not beat for this, man. You understand me? This will be the first and the last time that you do this to me. Shape up or get that behind.
That is a public shaming by Tony Leyenda.
But there's a positive there. Leyenda is not telling him, get away from me. He's just saying, if you want to be on this team, if you want to ride this train, you better carry your weight. He's leaving the door open for another opportunity to see his team.
And making sure that Bennett leaves with him, not abandoning his partner.
Can you imagine if they get on the same page, though? They'd be pretty much unstoppable.
Very, very dangerous. And Leyenda is going to coach Anthony Bennett up to his level.
From your occasional repair to complete renovations, we have a service for you. Call 856-599-8034 and book with Anton Remodeling Company today.
If you have interest in becoming a professional wrestler, feel free to reach out to our website at www.worldwidewrestlingdojo.com.
The Worldwide Wrestling Dojo, where quality talent receives quality training. The Men's Grooming Studio. Walk in as a stranger looking for a cut, and walk out as family with a great hairstyle. Our Tale of the Tape is sponsored by Lucia's Angels. Support the coalition against breast cancer. Go to luciasangels.org for more info.
Making two debuts today in the grappler division. And first up, it's the submission queen, Persia Pierce.
Persia's background is crazy impressive, right? We know everybody in the world of professional wrestling nowadays is going and training in some form of mixed martial arts. It's just the way of the world. It's almost a necessity. But not just mixed martial arts. She's got an amateur wrestling background. She's got a kickboxing background. She's got a grappling background. She's got a BJJ background. And on top of all that, her professional wrestling trainer is low-key.
Damn.
Fighting out of Hilversum, Netherlands, weighing at 122 pounds. She is the number 4 seed in the grapplers division. She has a record of 0 wins, 0 losses, and 0 draws, and a score of 0 points. She is the submission queen, Persia Spriggs.
The guts it's got to take to walk into a low-key training facility and like, this is the guy I want to teach me how to be a pro wrestler. It's
Persia,
just insane.
Persia walked out of the curtain and exuded, just oozed danger.
Toughness, grit.
But if there's one woman on the scene that's going to be able to match the toughness of Persia, it is going to be the Afro Punk, the best wrestler of my hometown, Washington, D.C. This is our emissary to the world of professional wrestling, Trish Adora.
Trish Adora burst on the scene quick and just basically took over right away. She's that good, right? Some people just have it. I was having a conversation in the back before about some wrestlers who just are naturally amazing, and she's one of them.
Washington, D.C., weighing at 175 pounds.
A veteran who knows toughness with a great attitude and positive mental mindset. In our Grapplers division matches, Avery, well, we're going to hear from our competitors first.
Got over the rules of that. Again, defensive use of the bottom rope is a violation. Offensive use of the top rope is a violation. And there are no pinfalls.
Before we start the match, any final thoughts for your opponent?
You got two options, sweetheart. You can either tap or you can snap. Larry Tubman says, get free.
Both of these ladies pretty much foreshadowing the future. One of them's going to be right, and one of them's going to be wrong. Right? You got Trish, who's looking for Lariat Tubman, which will knock out just about anybody in this building. You got Persia, who's the queen of the arm bars, and she's looking to snap some bones. They made their goals very clear. There's no hiding their strategies in this one.
No, this is knockout versus tap out. There are no pinfalls in our grappler matches, which means the match does have to be ended by submission or KO. Technical knockout, a ref stoppage, or hopefully not a disqualification. But we know right now that the submission queen, unsurprisingly, is maybe telegraphing that she's going to be looking for a submission win. And the Lariat Tubman, that lariat, that clothesline variation, I'm pretty sure Trish Adora looking for a knockout.
Now, I got to say, Joe Key's probably the most jacked dude on the show, but I'm pretty sure Persia's number 2. She might catch him one day, but she's one jacked up little lady.
She can get you from any angle. You are never safe against Persia. She can hit you with a submission from all sides, just as we see, taking down, picking both ankles, and now looking for that submission victory early.
She got a little half crab on right now, going after the leg. Trish, though, doesn't seem like she's too bothered by it, maybe a little uncomfortable.
Trish has great flexibility, and that's the thing that is going to help Trish Adora in this match. If you're going up against a submission queen, I imagine more than strength training, what you're doing is training your flexibility. How would you go up against someone you know has such a submission arsenal?
For me, it's just all about just not finding myself in that situation, right? If I know somebody's as a master of leg holds, a master of arm holds, blah, 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 I'm going to try to cut it off before it even happens to me. I'm also going to spend a lot of time near the ropes, right? Like, I can avoid putting myself in the center of the ring. So every chance I get, I'm going to inch myself closer to the ropes just in case I find myself in that situation, right? I've got an easy out.
But those are violations. You only have 3 rope breaks before you get no more, so even that is not necessarily enough. I love your suggestion. Offense is the best defense. That's certainly what we expect to see from Trish Adora.
This one picked up quick. She just dropped it right on the middle of her back. Persia's feeling that one. She's rolling around again, sneaking her way near those ropes.
I am very proud of my wrestling scene. I come from the DMV, that's the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, and we have many, many great wrestlers, but 2 standout wrestlers that we've brought to the scene. We already saw one, Logan Easton Laroux, could not be more different than the other, Trish Adora, who has just come up the right way, as they say.
And like you said before, she is a sweetheart. She's somebody you can't help but to root for. She's putting all the work in. She's got a heart of gold. She's a wonderful conversation. I had her over my house to hang out one time, and we just sat out back and hit it off right away. So I've always been a big fan. And
don't mistake her kindness
she's easy
for
to root
weakness,
for.
though. Don't mistake her kindness for weakness. This is someone who knows how to fight. This is someone who knows and was trained for combat, whereas Persia now showing how she was trained to just absolutely take someone apart, cutting them open like a scalpel.
And she's got that armbar locked in. Trish is already in danger here early on in this matchup. She's trying to work her way back to her feet. She's still, great cardio, and she's still, I'm sure, got a lot of energy left. We're only about 2 minutes in. Right back to that arm, little shoulder tackle, knocking Trish back down.
Persia's so versatile. Knows how to work over any body part, knows how to pick apart any ligament, any tendon. So it doesn't matter what part of your body you're defending. Inherently, you're giving another part of your body to her.
Well, and she's not letting go. That's one big thing here, right? You can tell her training's good. She's had that arm, and she's done at least 4 or 5 different things to it, and she's never let it go.
Wrestling is such an intimidation game. As you pointed out, Persia trained by low key. You want to talk about being able to get over the intimidation game. I don't think there's anyone she is going to face in this ring that's going to be an ounce intimidating compared to low key.
All right, and as tough as Trish is, she's not going to be as intimidating as low key, so you can guarantee Persia walked into this one with no fear.
Generally, we see a lot more submissions in professional wrestling than knockouts, but here in Fight, a submission is only 3 points and a knockout is 4. Which would you go for if you were placed in this kind of position, Avery?
See, it's one of those things where it's like I've never been trained on the art of knocking people out, right? It's just something, and I've had some of the best training in the history of the world, right? Some amazing trainers like Claudio Castagnoli, Drew Gulak, Hollow Wicked, right? The list goes on and on and on.
Incredible.
Right? But knockout is something that we've never really worked on, and here at Fight Pro, that's something that wrestlers now have to go out of their way to figure out how to do it efficiently, right? Rhett Titus has figured that out, and he's about the only one. All right, Harriet Tubman, maybe Trish might be the second one. But now you have every wrestler in the back of that room realizing not only, right, could a knockout be an effective way to win the match, but it's the most beneficial way to win that match.
And we also can see a technical knockout here. Persia has to answer to her feet by the count of 10 in order to continue, and she does at 5, which means I'd say about half her life bar has already been taken out.
Pump kick puts Persia down. And she doesn't look like she's getting back up anytime soon. We got a little back senton. Trish now starting to feel it, starting to get the people behind her.
Trish Adora has done a great job. We got 5 minutes left, 15 minutes remaining. Trish Adora has done a great job of focusing her attack on the head and neck, knowing that that Lariat Tubman is coming and that you are trying to knock your opponent into a state of unconsciousness. It's great strategy to sort of disconnect their neck from their head early.
Yeah, she's making a huge mistake here, though. She just backed off her opponent for a solid 30 seconds, letting Persia get back to her feet, and there it's going to cost her, and there it is, German suplex.
Well, turnabout is fair play, and now trying to weaken Trish Adora's neck.
When Persia had advantage of this match, she kept her hands on Trish the entire time. She would not let her go. She was constantly offense, 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 offense.
Fantastic at maintaining control. There are no pins. This is a pure submission here, and Trish Adora could reach the ropes and break the hold, but it will be a first warning here in our Grapplers Division match.
Right, like you said, maybe not as beneficial to be near the ropes here at Fight Pro, but you still get 3 rope breaks. You better believe in a match like this, I'd use all 3 of them. I'd probably sneak and try to use a 4th one until the ref told me I couldn't.
Persia reminds me very much of our current leader, the #1 ranked Janai Kai, the kick demon. Though Janai, known for strikes rather than submissions, they do have a very similar demeanor and focus to each other.
And they're just both like lethal, right? They start kicking you, punching you, clotheslining you, whatever it is. These ladies they bring a force, right, that is unmatched by anybody else in this building. And Trish now waiting again. I don't like this strategy. She said, well, I don't know if she's waiting for Harriet Tubman or Larry Tubman. There it is.
There is the lariat, effective, wanting to get the positioning perfect. And this one may be over. We'll find out. Can Persia get up before the count of 10?
It's over halfway.
Her feet.
She's not even to her knees. I don't like how this looks for Persia.
Technical knockout.
Hey, we got our first knockout of the night.
By knockout, earning 4 points, the Afro Punk, Trish Adora.
And with that, Trish Adora joins Janai Kai at the top of the pack in the Grapplers Division.
This is my favorite theme song in wrestling, by the way.
It's pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
Trish Adora proving that she has everything it takes to become the first ever Grapplers champion in Fight. Now extending the hand, which is completely rebuffed by Persia. Probably taught that by Low-Key as well.
I mean, either that or she's just really pissed off that she lost. Some of us are poor sports. She might be one of those, right? I mean, and she also knows now that whenever training is Monday, Tuesday, she's got to go back to Low-Key and tell him she got knocked out.
Trish Adora representing the DMV, the Grapple region, with great pride, standing atop the ladder of the Grapplers Division. I don't think anyone is going to stand up to Lariat Tubman.
Fight Pro Wrestling. You are looking at the newest problem added to the tag team roster. And if you don't know who we are, allow me to introduce ourselves. My name is Matthew Ullman. This is Gabriel Hodder. We are one of the most dominant tag teams in all of independent wrestling. We are 2 of the most ruthless, heartless, cold-blooded individuals going into the game today. And we are
All fight, no flight.
Primal
fear.
Our tale of the tape is sponsored by LJD Home Improvements, providing great service from concept to creation. Go to ljdhome.com for more info.
Well, this is time for something completely different here in Fight Pro.
Now, the Goonlet is a creative concept. I get it. It's a fun word on plays. Seems a bit awkward to say. I think I said it the smoothest out of anybody who said it so far today.
Miles Millennium was brought in as an alternate, a backup, when we weren't sure what was going to happen with our main event. Unfortunately, Silas Young, scheduled to be here, and as we heard earlier, came down with COVID. We look forward to having Silas Young sometime in the future. Miles Millennium wasn't chosen to fill in.
Now entering the ring.
Big Dust comes out to open the show.
By his manager, Pro Wrestler Illustrated, number 500, the Big Dust, enters the ring, fighting at a Goon headquarters, weighing at 201 pounds. He is a hybrid division alternate, and he is the Ripper, Miles Millennium.
And I understand Miles' point. He drove all the way out here, but he was never guaranteed a spot. And Miles and the rest of the Goons basically declared the show hostage, a sit-in protest, until Miles was granted a match. And I don't know about the wisdom of this. Our number one ranked, our number one seeded, the guy so far in Fight Pro, Rhett Titus, coming out and saying to get on with the event, he will fight both Miles Millennium and Killian McMurphy, effectively creating what we are now calling, against all good taste, the Goonlets.
There's 8. When Big Dust came out here to start this show, he said, look, my boys are here, my boys will wrestle. I remember being a young wrestler and just showing up to shows, right, to set up the ring. You bring your gear, you help set up the chairs, and you just hope somebody gives you a chance. Maybe I needed a Big Dust. Somebody who would just get in that ring and say, you're going to give Avery Good some matches. I don't care, blah, 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 if he's booked or not.
Out of Long Beach Island, New Jersey, weighing at 195 pounds, he is your current number one seed with a record of 1 win, 0 losses, 0 draws, and a score of 4 points. He is the professional Rhett Titus.
I hate to correct, but I do want to make sure we get the information. Rhett Titus actually coming in here with 8 points. He has scored 2 knockout wins via the drop kick, which has dropped people immediately. Rhett Titus has defeated Anthony Bennett and Bobby Shields in what was one of Bobby Shields' last matches as a professional wrestler. I do also want to say, I do happen to remember at one stage in your career, I think you had a bit of a proto-dust. I don't know if you remember a man named Sidney Bacabella.
Sidney Bacabella is my hero. I love Sidney Bacabella. He's the world's greatest manager. It took me long enough to be smart enough to get me a manager, though.
Any final words for your opponents?
Rhett, you about to get ripped, dog.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm already ripped, all right? And I'll tell you this, you want an opportunity? It's standing right in front of you. And its name is the professional Rhett Titus.
We talked about the focus we've seen in Logan Easton Laroux since joining the Fight Pro roster, and the other side of the coin, the inverse, but much the same. This is a very different Rhett Titus. This is a Rhett Titus at the top of his game. I think that Rhett Titus has been a slept-on wrestler for a long time. A lot of people maybe thought that he didn't take this as serious as he needed to. The professional has turned into one hell of a professional wrestler.
See, now I've known Rhett for almost 20 years, going on 17, 18 years, and Rhett's always been, every single time I've been around him, in the best shape in every single locker room we've ever been in. Can you imagine keeping up that diet, that work ethic, the workouts for that long?
I don't know if you looked at me, but
19.
I definitely can't.
Right.
I 100...
I know what that life is like, right? I've dedicated to myself, but for almost 20 straight years, Rhett has been living that life. He's one of those guys that anything good that comes to Rhett Titus, he 100,000,000% deserves.
The Goons may have lost the plot a bit as far as the world of professional wrestling goes, but that does not take anything away from the skills of Miles Millennium, an accomplished amateur wrestler, a Delaware state champion. And as we were talking about...
Delaware's a really small state, though. That's not really that impressive.
I think it is. You're saying...
Like, it's got to be way harder to do that in Pennsylvania than Delaware.
Trish Adora was our representative. I'd say Trish Adora, the best wrestler coming out of D.C. Logan Easton Laroux, the best wrestler coming out of the state of Virginia. I mean both those things. Miles Millennium, right now, I would say the #1 wrestler in Delaware in the entire country.
But he's another one of those guys where it's like, I saw his star on the rise a little bit, and I feel like he's kind of plateaued. There's like something somewhere, and it's just holding him back. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he's in Killian's shadow a little bit, right? He's kind of developed into that like sidekick role for Killian, and maybe, just maybe, he's a guy who just needs to step out on his own.
This is an opportunity. Miles forcing an opportunity. Miles making an opportunity, and right now going hold for hold with our #1 ranked Rhett Titus. And if Miles does win this match, Rhett still has to go up against Killian. 1, 2, I believe that Miles will become an official entrant into the hybrid division. We could have 2 Goons to deal with for the rest of the season, Avery.
Yeah, good luck with that, right? And I don't even know if it's competition-wise, right? They're very good professional wrestlers, but they're just highly annoying. Like, I just wouldn't want them around. Like, I wouldn't want to be in a locker room with them. I don't want them, like, I don't have to, like, share a car or take a Wawa trip. None of those things. They're just annoying human beings.
They are very annoying human beings, but Dustin, Big Dust, does have the voice of an angel. I don't know if you've ever heard him sing.
It's a songbird of his generation.
And we got our first official warning as the Ripper.
And again, that was an accidental one. That wasn't strategic. It didn't help. He already had control of the matchup. It was just him not paying close enough attention to the rules.
A lot that you have to keep track of here as Rhett Titus almost getting Miles Millennium in that pitting predicament.
Miles going for that single leg with that amateur wrestler background. Rhett blocks it. Clubs to the back. We got a power bomb, pile driver maybe. No, slip down from Miles.
Miles doing a great job trying to target the leg of Rhett to try and neutralize that dropkick, and instead that variation of the sliced bread. What a huge upset this would be if Miles Millennium defeated Rhett Titus. Was it a smart move for Rhett to take on 2 matches? He's been at the top of his game, but he is putting himself in a very vulnerable situation here.
Hey, sometimes you got to shoot for the moon, and even if you miss, you land amongst the stars. Rhett knows that better than anybody, right? If you're afraid of a challenge, you'll never find out exactly what you're made of.
Miles Millennium having an opportunity to step out of anyone's shadow. I truly believe Miles Millennium can hold his own with the best in professional wrestling, and that's why he does belong in Fight. I just don't necessarily know that I agree with the tactics it took to get here.
Yeah, I think it's a big deal that Killian's not out here right now, because then Rhett has an entirely different worry in his brain while trying to win this matchup. It's bad enough he's got to worry about Big Dust, but Killian being in the back is a major tip to the hat of Rhett Titus, and maybe, just maybe, he might be able to pull off both these matches and survive the Goonlet.
Yeah, the Goonlet, of course. Oh, there we go. That is the Bucks Row Beauty, named after the very first victim of Jack the Ripper, but Rhett Titus not falling victim to the Ripper Miles Millennium.
I love a good DDT, my friends, and that was a good DDT. He just spiked Rhett's head right in that mat so hard. I can't believe Rhett kicked out. I know Rhett's a tough dude, but I thought that was just about over right there.
The Ripper looking to make Rhett Titus a victim, wants to tap him out right there in the center of the ring. Can you imagine if the Goons go 2-0 against Rhett Titus? Rhett could lose a ton of momentum here in just the span of, I don't know, a maximum of an hour or 40 minutes, I should say.
But the scary thing about Rhett Titus is that drop kick, right? Like, you could have complete control of this match, which Miles has had for the most of this matchup, but Rhett nails that drop kick, which only takes a blink of an eye, and it's over before you know it. You're like, I'm winning. And
there we go!
I told you it happened so quick, and before you know it, you were looking up at the lights. My man is out cold. Ring the bell.
And that is yet a third knockout.
4 plus 4 plus 4.
Acquiring 4 points, the professional Rhett Titus.
My man's got 12 points.
Rhett Titus is betting on himself. If he is able to get another win, Rhett Titus may have created an insurmountable lead for himself in this season.
Somewhere in the back, Logan Easton Laroux is not happy that Rhett has now extended his lead up to, he's 5 ahead at this point, correct?
And now,
ladies and gentlemen, the Gauntlet continues. Fighting out of Goon headquarters, weighing at 221 pounds. He is the number 3 seed with a record of 0 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws, and a score of 0 points. He is the sharpshooter, Killian McMurphy.
Killian McMurphy coming in with more momentum and a better chance at beating Rhett Titus than anyone in the history of Fight Pro, because Rhett just went through an entire match. That's barely, what, maybe 45 seconds of a rest period?
But look at Rhett over in that corner. He's not even sweating. Rhett is a freak of nature. His cardio is ridiculous. He's in the best shape. And I want you to think about the strategy. I think I finally figured it out that Rhett's got going into this. Why would Rhett want to go through a gauntlet tonight? Because if Rhett knocks both these guys out, he's collected 8 points in one single night. Try to catch him after that.
Rhett Titus. Rhett's so strong, he just knocked the turnbuckle pad right off the turnbuckle.
Does that count as a knockout?
I think that might be a violation.
Oh, okay.
Killian McMurphy was once known as the tactician of submission. He hasn't gone by that for a while. He likes to call himself a funny song and dance man now. And Rhett Titus almost putting away Killian McMurphy, but you don't lose those skills. Killian McMurphy knows how to make someone tap with the best of them.
When you put aside the grumpy attitude of Killian McMurphy, when you put aside, you know, Big Dust being out here and the Ripper and all of these other things that go in to really just throw you off your game, underneath it all, Killian McMurphy is one heck of a professional wrestler. And I'm excited to see this matchup.
There was an earlier iteration of Fight Pro. This is the third version. This is the newest iteration of a long-standing legacy. And in Rockville, Maryland in 2017, the very first match that I called for Fight Pro live in the studio was Killian McMurphy against Bobby Shields. I watched this man his entire career. There has been something special about him the entire time. He is one of 2 veterans from the original fights, along with Bobby Shields, to make a return so far here in this 2022 version of Fight Pro.
Now that we've said some really nice things about Killian McMurphy, also let me just add, he's a real piece of crap.
Yeah, he's a
terrible human.
He's unpleasant.
Unlikable.
A real jerk. You know, you don't call someone a jerk if it's not really intentional.
Not fun to be around.
And Rhett Titus is a real mensch.
Yeah.
Could not be more different, these two.
A real peach. Rhett getting some push-ups in, as only Rhetski the Jet Ski can do. 6, while keeping that scissor lock firmly in grasp. Killian rolls out, doesn't let him get to 10 though.
This
real
is
party pooper.
Literally in that match against Bobby Shields 5 years ago, I watched Bobby Shields do a push-up on top of Killian McMurphy, and now I'm watching Rhett. There's like a tradition here in Fight. People have to do push-ups on Killian McMurphy. I'm calling it right now.
Full circle. Yeah, I like to do push-ups. I ain't getting back in the ring though. Here we go. We got the head scissor on. Killian trying to get out. Rhett trying to turn it over, get his push-ups in. I'd like to think he'd like to get at least 50 in. That seems like a good set for Rhett. Oh, he's taking that elbow and digging it into the inside knee of Rhett, which is extremely painful. Breaks the hold, but one firm kick from Rhett and those powerful legs.
There's a reason that Killian McMurphy, Miles Millennium, actually all of the Goons, including Big Dust, a full Goon sweep, all ranking on the top 500 list of Pro Wrestling Illustrated. That is quite an accomplishment for the Goons this past year.
I'm knowing you got, one collection of 3 of the best 500 wrestlers in the world. That's pretty impressive. Killian was like crazy high too. I forget the number, but it was up there. I was proud of the man.
And Killian following in the footsteps of Miles Millennium and trying to take out the ankles, the base of Rhett Titus. We've already seen that dropkick knock out Miles Millennium. We've seen it knock out Bobby Shields. We've seen it knock out the Mecca and Anthony Bennett. Killian McMurphy does not want to be number 5 on that list.
We'd like to think in the back before this matchup, Miles and Killian came up with a game plan. Hey, we're both going to attack the leg, or hey, we're both going to attack the arm, right? If If Rhett happens to get by the Ripper, you'd like to think that some damage was done, and Killian knew exactly what that damage was, considering he wasn't allowed out here, and so he knew where to attack the second he got in the ring on Rhett. Also, I love Rhett's boots. He got great boots.
Killian McMurphy has really made a name for himself over these last few years. The pandemic was rough on everyone. The pandemic really flattened the field for a lot of competitors, but Killian McMurphy was one of the few who really used it to his advantage, making a name for himself, reinventing himself, forming the Goons, and it has been a hugely different world for Killian McMurphy.
He's just a guy who wants to succeed. He's not afraid to put himself out there. He's not afraid to go do the work, right? He knows in the world of professional wrestling.
McMurphy has been issued a warning.
And that is our first warning on this match, and to be perfectly honest, I'm genuinely surprised it took that long for Killian McMurphy to break the rules, and looking to take advantage right now.
But again, that was a strategic rule break. It wasn't accidental. He knew what he was doing, and now look at him. He's in firm control of this matchup. I love the choice made by Killian, and I hate to compliment this piece of crap, but I just did it again.
It's very possible that Rhett has never been in more danger than the professional is in this match. Rhett says he's not called the professional because he shows up on time, though he does. He's not called the professional just because he looks good, though he does. He's called the professional because he knows how to do the job, and I'm talking about beating people in a professional wrestling ring.
And that's a name he's earned, right? You just can't call I guess you could call yourself the professional, but to have your peers actually respect that as a nickname is only something a few people could do, and Rhett Titus is one of those people because he's outworked just about everybody he's ever been in the locker room with.
Rhett Titus considers himself to be part of the foundation of professional wrestling. He respects the traditions of professional wrestling. He's trying to earn it the right way. And notably, Rhett Titus, one of the few competitors in all of this season who has not had a single violation. He has played every single match to the hilt by the rules.
See, that's impressive, and that's not only, just being a good-natured
Rhett Titus.
Ooh, almost got him there after all those boots in the corner. But it's also being smart and knowing the rules of professional wrestling and using them to your advantage. Here we go. He's going for a little Boston Crab, maybe a slingshot. I don't know. What else can you do from this position? I'm sure some other things.
The cardio that Rhett is displaying is impressive, but he was still in the ring for 5 minutes, full tilt, with a state champion wrestler in Miles Millennium. Unless something changes very significantly, Killian McMurphy will have the advantages. I think something's happened.
Rhett buckled his knee there a little bit with that up and over, which is something you can see quite common in wrestling, right? There is a very thin mat that is underneath that canvas, and it's not exactly a stable place to land, so you can roll ankles really quick. You can buckle your knee very quick. Now Rhett's going for an armbar.
This is the second submission we've seen Rhett go to, and I'm starting to wonder how much damage was done to that knee, whether or not he thinks he's got the power in the dropkick. Is Rhett trying to, change tactics midstream?
See, that was going to be my question, because I know with the dropkick, which Rhett is the best in the world at,
100%.
He can knock out Killian and get his 4 points. The submission doesn't get him 4 points, so even though it would be a win, it's not quite as a beneficial win as the knockout would be, so I thought that was a weird strategy.
But 3 points, still better than 0, and we are against someone like Killian McMurphy. You are always in danger, as we see. And now Killian McMurphy, like a shark smelling blood.
So stinking smart. He saw what we saw, and that little buckle of the knee from Rhett definitely hurt him more than you would think, right? And you knew that just by the choices that Rhett made after that happened. And Killian sensed it, and he went right after it.
Some people
Sneaky little shark.
Some people do insult to injury. Killian McMurphy does injury to injury, as he is just absolutely doubling down on whatever damage. And that's the thing. You don't want to sell it to your opponent. You don't want to let them know. That is a terrible torque that I am seeing out of Rhett Titus's ankle.
And I think that's what you saw. I think you saw it right. Rhett's initial reaction was, ow, I hurt my knee. But then he tried to cover it up, right? He didn't sell that for very long. But then it was just the decision he made, right? Killian's in that submission, and his brain is thinking, why is this guy who's the master of the drop kick, knocking out everybody, why is he thrown on his submission right now?
You see that look, that smug, that smirk of self-satisfaction. Killian McMurphy knows exactly where Rhett Titus is at. And Rhett might be able to kick out. He may still have that lower body strength, but that doesn't mean he's going to be able to stand up.
So now, right, you're sitting here, Rhett Titus with the advantage in almost every single way. Athleticism, strength, conditioning. He's the vet in the ring. But you take away that drop kick, and this is a much more even matchup.
That has been the difference maker in every single match Rhett Titus has had in Fight, in matches that he's had all across the coast.
You've seen it in the match with Miles was in clear control of that match, surprisingly. He was ahead 80% of that matchup, and it just took that split second for Rhett to knock him out cold.
Forgetting just the drop kick, your inability to move as quickly. I mean, Rhett's speed is on the line, his balance is on the line, and Killian McMurphy, so close, just a second away from putting Rhett Titus's undefeated streak in the ground. We've already talked about that. This man is undefeated here in Fight.
Basically flawless, like you said. No warnings, no strikes, never a loss.
Killian McMurphy now beginning to cover the leg and really making Rhett work for each of these kickouts.
Honestly, I think Killian's just tired at this point. He's been trying to keep up with Rhett Titus. Killian, you can see him breathing heavy. You see him getting frustrated. You see Big Dust getting frustrated. No, he doesn't.
I don't think Rhett knows the meaning of staying down. He can stay down if he wanted to. It's just not baked into his DNA to give up. There were so many times people told Rhett Titus to quit. They told him, you're never going to make it. You don't have what it takes to be the guy. You're always going to be on that song and dance man that Killian McMurphy claims to be. A lot of people thought that's what Rhett Titus really was. Rhett has never given up. Now, look at him. 20-year, one of the most respected veterans on the scene.
Not only not giving up, and I had mentioned already just for how long he's kept up, like the work ethic and the dedication and the sacrifice for 20-plus years. Like, I just always kind of wondered when he'd slow down. Like, how long can you keep this up for? And not only is he not slowed down, but he's like put the pedal to the metal. Like he's in the prime. Sacrifice even more because he's not a young guy anymore. Rhett's got to be in his upper 30s.
Well, no, actually, he's in his mid-30s. That's the thing. He started so early. Rhett is younger than you would think. He is still in the peak of his physical career. As you see that cross body across the ring, and Killian McMurphy barely able to get out. But isn't that incredible? We've seen Rhett grow in front of us that we assume that he's maybe in the twilight. He still has, 5-10 good years?
Oh, absolutely, but that's still over halfway, right? When you hit that overweight, right, as a professional wrestler, we know that window gets closer and closer to shutting on us every day, right? And for some people, that slows them down and they quit. For people like Rhett Titus, he's just like, no, if that window closes, I'm going to bust through it. Almost got him.
Another signature hold, signature throw by Rhett Titus.
But notice again, it wasn't a drop kick.
For you, Avery, you made the decision at one point. You said, hey, listen, I know I've hit the end of the road. Rhett Titus has been going for a long time. He's been going hard. You said you were surprised. He's really making a run at it right now. What led you to decide, hey, it's time for me to pack it in? What is it that you think Rhett Titus needs to keep in mind about his life, his physical health?
I mean, for me, it was just a straight family decision. Like, everybody thought I was hurt or beat up or injured. I did break my leg 2 years ago. They're like, oh, was it that? I'm like, no, that healed great. That's fantastic. It was just me, right? My kids were getting big, and I just didn't want to miss.
I hate to interrupt, but I think Big Dust just pulled Killian McMurphy out of the ring, and that is it's another violation. There has been a violation.
So that's that's strike one, correct? He got his warning. He's got strike one. All right, I'm following along. He's got one more in his buffer zone. If he hits the third strike, he's forfeiting.
Well,
right?
I'm pretty sure. I think if I have it correctly, I'm pretty sure that this was. Oh, Rhett may be about to get suckered into his first violation. I believe Killian is at a warning and one violation.
Correct.
Therefore, have 2 violations more under the rule set. Rhett Titus was almost suckered in to that absolutely pure record of no violations. That's how effective Big Dust is being really hateable. Oh, and now Rhett Titus inviting Big Dust into the ring.
I mean, I'd like to punch Big Dust in the face.
The number 500 wrestler on the PWI Top 500 about to show how you get to be last on a list of the best.
Look how punchable his face is. So now if Rhett punches Dust in the face, that's not a warning, correct? He's allowed to punch Dustin in the face?
I think everyone's allowed to punch Dustin.
Deal.
I think you're allowed to punch Dustin. I think I'm allowed to punch Dustin.
Might be the only thing that get me to come out of retirement is just somebody's like, hey, you can come in the ring, put your tights on, punch Dustin in the face and leave.
What is happening right now? What is Dustin rapping?
But look, oh, Rhett, turn around, bro.
Rhett,
come on.
It's a trap. It's a trap. Crossface chicken wing. Crossface chicken wing applied.
Ooh, Rhett quickly out of it. Clothesline. No, he got Big Dust.
He just hit his best friend.
people let me clothesline on my best friend.
And Rhett Titus looking to end Killian McMurphy.
He's out cold.
He's down, but he's not. I don't think he's out cold. He's still conscious. Ooh. This is the first time we've ever seen the drop kick not actually knock someone immediately out cold.
Rhett seems to be handling this pretty well. Like, I'd be freaking out if the thing that I've done all the time and it's worked just stopped working magically.
We saw the Lariat Tubman get the TKO for Trish and Adora, but Killian McMurphy is the first person to stand up from the dropkick, but not a second one.
Is he done?
I don't know. Referee's got to check it.
Right, you got to let Chris in. He's done. Oh, knockout. 8 points in one night. Yeah, Rhett.
Professional Rhett Titus.
Absolutely incredible, unprecedented, ran the gauntlet. I'm getting a word with the professional Rhett Titus, Avery.
The composure Rhett Titus kept after that dropkick to knock out Killian McMurphy was very impressive. Very, very impressive. I'd have been freaking out, right? If I hit my DDT that knocks out everybody and that didn't work, I wouldn't know what to do, but Rhett kept his cool. He lined up the second dropkick, and bam, second knockout of the night.
Congratulations, you are now in an unprecedented position at the top of the pack. But I have to ask you, that was the very first time you've ever seen someone not immediately fall prey to the drop kick. A lot of damage done to your legs. You took on 2 matches when you didn't need to. Is the pressure getting to you? Can you possibly keep up this pace?
Being a professional isn't just a catchy nickname. This is the type of guy who's ready to go any place, anytime, anywhere. And today, that place just happened to be Fight Pro, and not only one, but 2 guys. And I don't want to look past these guys, but I got a lot of rehab on this interview, and I'm making a challenge.
What's that?
Right back here in this building. Before I can go on and prove to myself that I am a man, prove to you that I am a man, and prove to each and every one of these people here must know that I'm a man, I gotta kill one of my makers. Delirious, welcome back to Fight Pro. You got a professional waiting for your head.
I hope you get that rehab done, Rhett, because I actually came out to tell you it's been approved and you're gonna go one-on-one with your mentor.
That is what I'm talking about. And those type of matches and these type of matches where people come out here and follow the rules because the rules are not meant to be broken. And if you can uphold these and succeed, you are truly the professional.
Rhett Titus, your #1 ranked wrestler in the higher division, going up against Delirious. Thank you all.
Signal for dreams. In 4 days, a good match, not yet. I come home, it's not yet.
When I first started with the Monster Factory, I said to myself, like, if I got one person to the WWE, I'll be happy.
Danny Cage, you have this school at the Monster Factory.
He teaches you everything. I was working in one of these dead-end jobs. As soon as I walked in, I was like, this is awesome.
The rush of being in a wrestling ring is like nothing else. An underdog is a hungry dog.
Part of me didn't want to call myself Twitch, but how many wrestlers do you know not only have Tourette's, but are like open about it?
Make sure they don't kill each other. Or if they do, just clean up.
Fight Pro. It is the official ego, Matt Hayter. And I'll be seeing you guys so very soon.
Our tale of the tape is sponsored by VetTix. Give something to those who gave. For more info, go to vettix.org.
And now it is time for our main event. I mean, I'm still buzzing over the huge news that we're going to see Delirious versus Rhett Titus. But now we are about to see a very, very special man. The Mush Master, Tim Spriggs, professional wrestling's only Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt world champion.
See, Tim Spriggs just isn't another MMA guy with a washed-up career who decided, I'm going to try to become a professional wrestler. No. When Tim Spriggs walked away from BJJ, he was #1 in the world. He was at the top of the mountain at the pinnacle, but he knew deep down inside BJJ wasn't his dream. It wasn't what he wanted to do. He wanted to be a professional wrestler. Maybe he got to the top of BJJ and then he thought, I've already accomplished everything there is to accomplish here. What else can I accomplish in this world, in this lifetime?
I asked him why. Why do you want to be a professional wrestler? First off, new mountains to climb, but he said more money to count. He said all the gold, all the green, and pro wrestling pays more. And now the man who took out our initial premier fighter, the premier fighter, he's absolutely savage. The savage gentleman, Victor Benjamin, a man who is no stranger himself to the world of mixed martial arts. I don't think this is going to be a professional wrestling match, Avery. I think this is going to be a fight.
This is going to be a fight. I've seen so many abs today. Holy cow. That's like part of the protocol here is like you need to have abs or you are not welcomed into the door. I was very fortunate to have some abs at the end of my career. I don't know if I still got them, but hey, once upon a time I was there.
If you want to get back in the ring, you just let us know.
I'm good.
New Jersey.
Oh man, I'm so excited to see that. I've never seen Tim Spriggs wrestle before, and I'm so pumped.
Contenders bout with a 30-minute time limit, and it is your Fight Pro main event. Introducing first, in the corner, to my right, he is fighting out of Columbia, Maryland. He weighs at 225 pounds. He is the Mushmaster, Tim Spriggs.
That is an amazing nickname.
In the corner to my left, his opponent, fighting out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and weighing at 220 pounds, he is the Savage Gentleman, Victor Benjamin.
We talked about transformations we've seen here in Fight Pro. Logan Easton Laroux becoming more focused, more vicious. Rhett Titus growing into the man we always knew he could be, but perhaps no transformation has been more, incredible than the savage gentleman Victor Benjamin becoming a lethal fighting machine before our eyes.
And just look, he's a guy I trained with for a long time, and he's always been in good shape, but now he's in phenomenal shape. It's amazing. I haven't seen this dude with his shirt off in a couple years, and it's just ridiculous the transformation he's going under. You add to that as legit as
you add to that.
I seen that what you did, right? He's got as a legit of a mixed martial arts background as you can have. He's been in the octagons. He's been in the cages, right? He's gone knuckle to knuckle with some of the best in the world. And right now he's in there with Tim. And Tim, as we just said, he left the world of BJJ number one.
Number one ranked submission grappler on the planet Earth at the time. This is a match that is a battle between MMA, and BJJ with a pro wrestling flavor. This is what Fight is all about, the top competitors. And this is our premier fighter contendership. Whoever is the premier fighter at the end of the season will face the winner of our hybrid division to become the first ever Fight champion. And this is that submission skill.
Even how he got into that submission was awesome. He was in a go behind. He hooked that left leg in from behind. He swooped around, and he was able to hook up by the hip area of the Savage Gentleman, take him down, and it locks him right into that heel hook. It's a beautiful transition.
One of the biggest differences in professional wrestling versus MMA, of course, is going to be the fact that if you grab the ropes in one of our hybrid division matches, not our grappler, you do have to break a hold. That is a completely different style. That's a completely different rule set than what Tim Spriggs was grown up. And now we've seen, is he about to go in Noki versus Ali right now?
And he just went toe-to-toe with the Savage Gentleman, and he maybe learned, hey, that's not where I belong, right? This guy's he's a fighter, he's a boxer, his hands are lethal. I'm better on the ground. Let's start grappling. Let's roll around on this mat. This is where I'm comfortable.
Entirely different style and tone for this main event match than anything else we have seen on the card. There is a different kind of pressure here in the Premier Fighter matches. To be a Premier Fighter, you have to win it to stay in it. It's unlike the division. You know, in season of baseball, you know a lot about baseball, my friend. You lose a few games, it's not the end of the world. You lose your spot as the Premier Fighter, you're done. You're out.
What do you think the over-under is on body slams we see in this match? Just a straight-up, traditional, as professional wrestling gets move.
I don't think
body slam. I'm setting over-under at a half.
Yeah. Someone might get lifted.
I'm going to be pumped if we see a body slam. It might be the most excited you've ever seen a human being get, right? And this is one of those scary things about these MMA guys when they come into pro wrestling is we already
no! Oh, no!
He's out cold. When he kicked out of that, he just popped him up and hit him with a spinning back heel kick to the side of the head.
And now
Tim Spriggs
is on the offense. Somehow Spriggs managed to turn that into the advantage.
These guys are as tough as they come, but as I was saying, these guys show up, right? And as a straight pro wrestler, I've got no MMA, nothing background. I always knew I had the advantage because this is my world. This is what I've always wanted to do. It's the only thing I've ever trained. I know I'm a better professional wrestler for now, right? But these guys, when they come in, they've got such a unique background that when they also develop the skills that I have, I really don't stand a chance. Like they've taken everything I've mastered, right, and then they elevate it with all of the things that they now know, that they've always known.
You want to hear the scariest thing about Tim Spriggs?
Yeah.
Really break your heart?
I didn't already hear it?
No.
Oh, boy.
Under 1 year in the business. This man is doing this well with less than a year of professional wrestling training. Let's not pretend he's not coming in with a million advantages. The fact that he is one of the single greatest Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competitors in the history of the world. But still, as a pro wrestler, he is here competing 1 year in against someone like Savage Gentleman Victor Benjamin.
And Benjamin's been around for a good 5 or 6 years, right? He's made that transition from MMA into pro wrestling. He's done a great job at it, right? His wife, also a professional wrestler. And these two live, eat, breathe, train professional wrestling all day, every day. You have some people who do this as a hobby, and then you have some people who do this as life.
Fantastic.
Victor Benjamin is a life wrestler.
Fantastic. Judo throws by Tim Spriggs. We're about to see like the cardio that this takes. This may well be just a matter of who burns brighter and who burns out first.
I want to see this whole locker room run a marathon because I want to see who'd have the fastest time. They'd probably all insanely fast.
Action Andretti. I'm going with Action.
Action Andretti?
That's my guess. Either that or Breaux. Oh!
Yeah, I'm going to go Breaux. Mr. All In.
Oh, he somehow caught it!
He caught that kick. He's got the heel. He's trying to lock it in. He doesn't quite got it all the way yet.
Victor Benjamin went with that kick that's usually a setup for his knee, and somehow he got caught by Tim Spriggs.
Benjamin knows he's got to get out of there right away or it's going to be lights out for him. He still doesn't quite have it all the way hooked in. Now he's got it hooked in.
There have been flashes of absolute insanity in this fight so far. And every time it seems like Savage Gentleman Victor Benjamin is able to get the advantage with his strikes, the Mushmaster continues to hit those submissions.
Savage Gentleman rolls his way out of that one. A couple combination kicks and leg sweeps and a big old German. There's a pro wrestling move. Let's go. Savage Benjamin in the corner just tuning something up. Is it going to be kick and elbow and knee? I don't know. I'm going to go knee.
Master of so many disciplines, but especially strikes.
I was right.
Signature knee by the Savage Gentleman, and now just taking it. Waits. Yet again, Tim Spriggs catches in the triangle, the gentleman.
Victor Benjamin came in and tried to drop a bomb. Spriggs was ready. Spriggs is very resilient. The two bigger maneuvers I've seen him take.
Savage Gentleman was able to roll up Tim Spriggs.
And that's what's going to get him for now. For now, but like you said, give him some time. He's going to be deadly. All in due time, Mr. Spriggs. All in due time.
That is simply inexperience. That is simply transitioning from a different world. And Tim Spriggs absolutely livid with himself for falling prey to basically what amounts as no more than a roll-up. He was playing checkers, and the Savage Gentleman was playing chess.
I guarantee he will never make that mistake again, though.
What a learning experience. What a fight. And the Mushmaster making a promise to the Savage Gentleman. He'll see him again down the line.
Let's give it up for our premier fighter, the Savage Gentleman, Victor Benjamin! Another victory, Victor. Another victory, Victor. All right, so who's ready to hear who the next premier contender is going to be? And then in the fight, round 4, a former Ring of Honor superstar, a former embassy member, Victor Benjamin will be going up against Eric Stevens. Good luck, sir. Let's give it up for Victor!
What a wild night of competition. And you just heard Ernie Osiris announce the next premier contender, Eric Stevens. An incredibly deserving choice. Also, next week you will see tag team division action as Primal Fear will take on the Busky Brawlers. World famous CB returns to take on Logan, Easton Laroux, and hybrid division action with a lot personally on the line there as well. And our first ever Fighters Spotlight featuring Delirious versus Rhett Titus. And in our main event, premier fighter Victor Benjamin, the Savage Gentleman, versus the next premier contender, Eric Stevens. For Avery Good, I am Jason Heat. Good night, everyone, and see you here next week for Enter the Fight, Round 4.